Hi, good day ma'am. I am Kenneth Imagbato and today I will share to you my recorded oral recitation about the story We All Become Stories. The story entitled We All Become Stories by F.C. Marie Esperas is undeniably praiseworthy because of how creative and impactful it is to the reader's senses when read. The story obviously revolves around the character of Lola Mimay, an old woman who is in her 80s. Lola Mimay indulged in sharing stories of people in her place to anyone who would love to listen. If we look closely into the text, we can definitely say that the point of view exemplified here is a third person limited. This idea of mine about the type of point of view used in the text is signified by the numerous times the third person pronoun she was used along the narration. We can also suggest that the persona is also the narrator of the story. Along the story, we can clearly say that the narrator delivers the story from the viewpoint of a single protagonist. The line in the text, "We all become stories when we die," exemplifies the notion or idea of remembering or reminiscing of someone's life during their existence. It exudes the idea that our life is just like an unfinished book. We, the writers of our own stories, continue to write inputs about our lives which will eventually end or finish when we die. In the story, the conversation between the persona and Lola Mimay gives off a throwback vibe where they tackled several scenarios of few people from the past. Talking about the setting of the story based on the information provided in the story itself, we can suggest that the story happened in the seaside or a community near the ocean. Upon reading the story, we cannot directly provide the main conflict of the story because of the fact that Lola Mimay have narrated stories of various people exuding different problems or conflicts. If we analyze through the stories of these people that she included in her narration, we can tell that each of their stories are remarkable due to the conflicts they encounter in their lifetime. Conflict was initially introduced when Lola Mimay recalled the reason why Renan is gay. It was stated that Renan got electrocuted during his young days and became the reason why he is gay. Another conflict from the narration of Lola Mimay was about the narrator's grandmother, and that grandmother is referred to Ipang. Ipang was said to have an affair with Andres, who got her pregnant. Andres had lied to her by promising her that he will marry her. It turns out that she was just blinded by the unsaid truth of Andres being married to another woman. Lola Mimay have witnessed as well how Andres attempted killing Ipang and her baby Mia. Ipang refused to acknowledge the baby as her own, perhaps because of what happened between her and Andres. Although it was not explicitly stated that Lola Mimay adopted Mia, I think that Lola Mimay herself took care of the child. This is evident when we refer to the thought exuded by the succeeding lines in this particular scenario. Based on the observations of Lola Mimay towards the people that surrounds, we can see how unfortunate women were because of the abusive men they got hooked into. These common problems encountered by the people involved in the narration of Lola Mimay can be perhaps concluded as the main conflict in the story. The main conflict revolves around the term violence and the thought circulating love as never the sweetest. In general, the story is all about recollecting people's experiences from the past where we as readers can reflect on them as a reference to how we are going to deal with the situations similar to the ones they had. We all become stories when we die because the process of writing our story ends when we die. In line with this, I have come to realize that we, being the writers of our own stories, we must aspire to do things with kindness to everyone around us, because by the time we die, our story will be told to the people that exist, and it is nice to foresee people being inspired with our story instead of them questioning us why we behave in a very such inhumane way. That would be all. Thank you for listening.